Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 12C. I am Pranjal Banage, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 11th International Conference on Information and Communications Technology for Sustainable Development ICT4SD 2026 in Goa, India. The 11th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held the day before yesterday, 9th July in 2026 in Goa, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom from 9th to 11th July 2026. I hope you'll enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 10 minutes for the presentations and 2 minutes for question and answers. In 8 minutes, I'll raise a gentle reminder. I would request everyone to adhere to the time limits. There's another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any queries or updates, then you can write it to me or to my co host in the chat box. Now, before we start, I'd like to introduce our chair for this session, Dr. Nikhila Katrisetti. She is the Dean of Outreach and in charge of Head of CSE Data Science Department at Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad, India, with over 14 years of experience specializing in machine learning applications, software engineering, and emotional quotient analysis. She has published research in premier platforms like IEEE Access. Now, I would like to officially start with the session. I'd like to invite Gauri to present his paper on a comparative analysis of the potential and challenges predicted with AI in consulting. You may start with your presentation.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Gauri VR. Today, I am presenting our research paper titled A Comparative Analysis of the Potential and Challenges Predicated with AI in Consulting. This research examines how artificial intelligence is transforming the consulting industry by creating new opportunity while also introducing significant implementation challenges. So, let's begin. So, artificial intelligence has become one of the biggest drivers of digital transformation. So, in consulting, AI helps firms improve decision making, automate routine tasks, analyze large volumes of data, and provide personalized recommendations to clients. Technologies such as machine learning, predictive analytics, and natural language processing and enable consultants to deliver fast and more accurate solutions. So, however, AI adoption also brings challenges like implementation cost, the ethical concerns, the data privacy, and the skill shortages. So, this study evaluates both the opportunities and the challenges of AI adoption in consulting. So, these are the literature we have analyzed. So, after reviewing this literature, we defined the following objectives for our study. The first objective was to examine the current level of AI adoption in the consulting firms. The second objective was to identify the opportunities AI provides, such as improving decision making, operational efficiency, and the client service. The third objective was to identify the major challenges in AI implementation, including the cost, technical expertise, and ethical concerns. The fourth objective was to understand consulting profession's perception towards AI adoption. Then finally, we aim to study the future prospects of AI in consulting and how it can shape the consulting industry in the coming years. So to achieve this, we have used this following research methodology. We have used a quantitative method. For the primary data, we collected responses using a structured questionnaire from consulting professionals. For secondary data, we refer to research papers, journals, books and reports published by organizations such as Accenture, Deloitte, McKinsey, KPMG, and NASCOM. So we adopted convenient sampling because it allows us to collect responses from professionals who were easily accessible and had knowledge of AI in consulting. Overall, we collected 110 valid responses, which form the basis for our analysis. The collected data were analyzed using the Microsoft Excel and the Google Sheets to prepare charts and percentage analysis. Although the study has limitations such as limited sample size and time constraints, it provides a meaningful insights into AI adoption consulting. So now let us look at the profile of our respondents. So our study was based on 110 responses from consulting professions. Among them, 58 responses were female, 51 were male, and one preferred not to disclose their gender. Then when we look at their professional roles, 26.4% were senior consultants or partners, another 26.4% were technology specialists, then 24.5% were junior or mid-level consultants, and 20.9% were client representatives. So we also receive responses from professionals with the different levels of experience and varying involvement in AI projects. So overall, this diverse demographic profile makes our survey findings more balanced and reliable. So now let's move on to the adoption and the current usage of AI. So our findings show that 48 respondents agreed AI is improving decision making, while 50 respondents agree that AI has become a core component of consulting services, indicating that AI adoption is steadily increasing. However, only 35 respondents agree that AI has improved operational efficiency, and the same number agree that clients actively seek AI-powered consulting solutions. So, suggesting that many organizations are still in the early stage of AI adoption. Finally, 44 respondents agree that technologies such as predictive analytics, automation, natural language processing are widely used in the consulting. So overall, the research show that AI adoption is growing, but its implementation and benefits still vary across consulting firms. So now let us discuss the major challenges of AI in consulting. So our findings show mixed opinions on implementation cost, with 38 respondents agreeing and 40 disagreeing. Similarly, for technical expertise, 44 agreed while 47 disagreed, indicating the skill availability differs across firms. For ethical concerns and data privacy, the responses were equally divided, with 43 respondents agreeing and 43 disagreeing. So, in addition, 51 respondents believe that smaller consulting firms struggle to compete with the larger firms, and 46 respondents felt that clients are still hesitant to adopt AI due to risk of lack of awareness. So overall, our studies show that cost, skill gaps, and ethical concerns, competition, and the client awareness are the key barriers of the AI adoption in consulting. So now look at the future prospects of AI in consulting. So our findings show a positive outlook for AI. 49 respondents believe AI will become a key differentiator for consulting firms in the next 5 years. Then 46 respondents agree that AI will improve the accuracy and speed of project deliveries, while 51 respondents believe it will create new consulting service lines. In addition, 53 respondents agree that AI will help provide more personalized client solutions, and 45 respondents believe that demand for AI-driven consulting services will continue to grow. So overall, these findings indicate that AI has a promising future in the consulting by improving service quality, creating new opportunity, and supporting business growth. So now let us look at the role of AI in specific consulting domains. Okay, our findings show that 50 respondents agreed that AI supports strategic decision making, while 60 respondents agreed it plays the biggest role in data analysis and reporting, making it is the highest rated domain. The for process automation, 43 respondents agreed, showing that AI helps automate routine tasks. Then 47 respondents agree that AI helps customer relation management, while for 51 respondents believe it is useful for risk assessment and management. Overall, the research shows that AI is creating the greatest impact in the data analysis and decision making, while also supporting automation, customer management, and risk assessment. AI is enhancing consultants' work rather than replacing them. So this slide summarizes both the opportunities and challenges of AI in consulting. On the opportunity side, AI helps consultants make better decisions through faster data analysis. It automates repetitive tasks, improves productivity, reduces human errors, enables consultants to provide more personalized solutions to clients. So on the other hand, our study also identifies several challenges. This include high implementation costs, shortage of skilled professionals, then the ethical concerns, then data privacy issues, and difficulties faced by smaller consulting firms in adopting AI technologies. Then, therefore, we can conclude that AI offers significant benefits, but the organization must overcome these challenges to fully utilize its potential. So, these are the key findings. Based on the responses collected from 110 consulting professionals, we identified several important findings. First of all, 45.5% of the respondents agree that AI has become a core component of consulting services. showing that AI adoption is steadily increasing. However, when we asked whether AI has improved operational efficiency, only 31.8% agreed, while 44.6% disagreed. This indicates that although AI has a great potential, many organizations are still not experiencing its full benefits because implementation is still evolving. We also found that opinions on clients actively seeking AI solution were almost equally divided, showing that AI adoption depends on both the consulting firms and the client's awareness. Finally, our study shows that the biggest barriers to AI adoptions are the implementation cost, the technical expertise, the ethical concerns, and competition between large and small firms. So overall, these findings suggest that AI is transforming consulting, but organizations need the right strategy and resources to achieve its full benefits. So, in conclusion, our studies show that artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in the consulting industry. It helps improve decision making, automate the routine tasks, analyze large amount of data, and deliver better services to clients. At the same time, organizations continue to face challenges such as implementation costs, lack of skilled professionals, ethical concerns, and data privacy issues. So, therefore, we conclude that AI should not replace consultants. Instead, it should support consultants by improving their productivity, efficiency, and decision making. So, organizations that combine AI technology with human expertise will be better prepared for the future. So these are the recommendation based on our research findings. So we recommend this following. Consulting firms should invest more in AI technologies and digital infrastructure. They should provide regular training and upscaling programs for the employees. Then organizations should establish strong ethical guidelines and data privacy policies. Then cybersecurity measures should be strengthened to protect the client data. Then AI should be used to support human consultants rather than replace them. And finally, organizations should continuously monitor and improve their AI system to ensure responsible and effective implementation. So this recommendation can help organizations maximize the benefits of AI while minimizing its damages. These are the references. And with this, I come to an end of my presentation. Thank you for your valuable time and attention.
Thank you so much for your presentation, sir. Now, I would like to reintroduce our session chair, Dr. Nikhila Katrashetty. She is the Dean of Outreach and in charge of Head CSE Data Science Department at Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad, India, with over 14 years of academic experience specializing in machine learning applications, software engineering, and emotional quotient analysis. She has published research in premier platforms like IEEE Access. Do you have any words to say?
Thanks for your brief description of mine, Paul. Thank you.
Then we'll be moving on to the next presentation. I would like to call upon Shriyans Bansal to present his paper on a low-cost IoT system for monitoring livestock gases and assessing biogas potential. You may start with your presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll just start in a minute.
Yes.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, respected session chairs and fellow participants. I am Shreyansh Bansal from Jayashree Pariwal International School, and today I'll be presenting my work titled A Low-Cost IoT System for Monitoring Livestock Gases and Assessing Biogas Potential. Our research investigates how affordable, continuous environmental monitoring can improve poultry farm management and provide indirect insight into biogas potential. Poultry houses continuously generate gases such as ammonia, methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. These emissions arise mainly from bird respiration, manure decomposition, microbial activity, and insufficient ventilation. Although these gases are invisible, their impact is significant. Ammonia and hydrogen sulfide may affect respiratory health, carbon dioxide reflects ventilation and indoor air quality, while methane indicates anaerobic decomposition and has relevance for biogas generation. The challenge is that many small and medium poultry farms rely on manual observation. By the time poor air quality becomes noticeable, the birds may already be experiencing and the farmer may have lost an opportunity for early intervention. This created the motivation for an affordable, real-time multi-parameter monitoring platform. The literature shows substantial work on poultry house temperature, humidity, ammonia, and general IoT monitoring. However, the main gap is fragmentation. Many studies monitor only one or two parameters, while more comprehensive commercial systems can be expensive and difficult to deploy at a particular scale. Furthermore, relatively limited attention has been given to combining multi-gas monitoring with the interpretation of manure decomposition and biogas potential. Our contribution is therefore an integrated, low-cost framework combining multi-gas sensoring, IoT connectivity, seasonal analysis, and indirect biogas assessment. The central problem is the absence of an affordable and continuous method for understanding the air conditions experienced by poultry in real time. We established 5 objectives. First, to develop a low-cost monitoring system. Second, to measure ammonia, methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, temperature, and humidity. Third, to compare conditions across summer, monsoon, and winter. Fourth, to investigate the relationship between environmental conditions and microbial decomposition. Finally, to assess whether observed gas patterns could serve as an indirect indicator of livestock conditions and biogas potential. Importantly, this study assesses relative potential. It does not directly measure final biogas yield. The system follows a simple end-to-end architecture. After the sensing layer, the prototype collects gas, temperature, and humidity readings from the poultry environment. The ESP32 by Arduino acts as a central processing unit. It combines microcontroller capability with built-in Wi-Fi. The readings are processed and transmitted through Wi-Fi using the MQTT protocol. MQTT was selected because it provides lightweight communication suitable for IoT applications. The data is then sent to a cloud dashboard for storage and visualization. Finally, the collected readings undergo statistical time series and seasonal analysis. This architecture keeps the hardware affordable while still enabling continuous remote observations. The prototype and methodology. The slide presents the physical prototype and the experimental workflow. The system integrates an ESP32 with sensors for ammonia, methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, temperature, and humidity. An OLED display provides immediate local readings while Wi-Fi enables crowd transmission. Before field deployment, the sensors underwent calibration and baseline adjustment. The prototype was then installed inside the poultry environment with sensing components positioned close to bird height so that the readings reflected the conditions actually experienced by the livestock. Monitoring was conducted by myself across 3 climatic periods: summer, monsoon, and winter, with 30 days of observation in each season. Data was collected at regular intervals, transmitted to the cloud, and analyzed to identify seasonal trends. This real-world deployment was important because controlled laboratory measurements alone would not capture the variability of an operating poultry house. The data collecting and processing. Uh, once collected, the readings were organized as time-stamped seasonal data sets. To improve the data quality, extreme observations were identified using Tukey's 1.5 time interquartile range method. Missing readings were handled through interpolation to preserve continuity. Each session was then analyzed separately using daily summaries, time series visualizations, box plot comparison, and regression-based analysis of relationships between environmental conditions and gas accumulation. The purpose was not only to report the isolated readings, but to understand how temperature and humidity influence gas behavior over time. The results reveal a clear seasonal pattern. Summer recorded the highest temperature, approximately 33 to 40 degrees Celsius. The hotter and drier conditions encouraged rapid litter drying, which limited some moisture dependent microbial process. The monsoon season produced the highest humidity, generally around 70 to 85%. These warm and moist conditions supported greater microbial and anaerobic activity. As a reason, as a result, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen sulfide increased more noticeably during this period. Methane readings across the study were approximately 4 to 11 parts per million. while ammonia ranged from approximately 11 to 27.5 parts per million. Carbon dioxide varied from 1,100 to 2,000 parts per million. Winter produced the lowest temperatures and generally the most stable gas conditions because reduced temperature and moisture suppressed microbial activity. Overall, humidity combined with moderate temperature appeared to be more influential for gas information than temperature alone. Moving on to the box plot analysis and the validation. The box plot analysis supports the same general conclusion. The monsoon season demonstrated higher central values and greater variability for several gas parameters, while winter conditions were lower and more stable. We also have evaluated the prototype against a reference analyzer using 60 field samples. The mean absolute percentage was the mean absolute error percentage was 8.3% for ammonia, 6.7% for carbon dioxide, 9.1% for methane, and 11.4% for hydrogen sulfide. These results show that the low-cost sensors do not replace laboratory grade instruments, particularly when regulatory precision is required. However, the observed error range is suitable for continuous trend monitoring, early identification of changing conditions, and field-level decision support. The conclusion and the future scope. In conclusion, we developed a low-cost ESP32 based IoT system capable of continuous monitoring multiple gases and environmental parameters in poultry house. The study demonstrates that the seasonal conditions, particularly the combination of humidity and temperature, significantly influence gas accumulation. Monsoon conditions were generally the most favorable for microbial decomposition and therefore indicated greater relative biogas potential. However, because direct biogas yield was not measured, these gas trends should be interpreted as indirect indicators rather than exact production of biogas potential. Future works will focus on direct biogas yield validation, deployment across a large number of farms, predictive machine learning models, mobile alerts, and integration with automated ventilation systems. The broader goal is to make environmental monitoring practical and affordable for resource-constrained livestock farms. These are the references, these are the principal sources supporting the study. The complete reference list is included in the paper as well. Thank you to ICT4SD and the session chair for this opportunity. I look forward to your questions.
May I know what's
So,
may I know what's your motivation?
oh, okay. So ma'am, the motivation began I live in on weekends, I used to visit my village, and there was a poultry farm nearby. And the same farmer who worked at the poultry farm used to visit my farm, where he used to do the gardening and all. So I usually had a word with him on weekdays, and I used to talk to him. So he told me about his family and the overall farm. So he used to tell me that the people working in that farm are getting sick very frequently. So after that, I wanted to know what is the reason behind that. And I had recently been to a summer school at Plaksha University where I learned about uh, the IoT systems and the different sensors. So I wanted to build something which can tell them what is wrong in their farm. How can they resolve it? How can the farmers resolve it themselves? Because there are many farms, like most of the farms in India, around 80 to 90% of them, they work on a very small scale, so they cannot afford like very large and costly systems to monitor their farms. So that's why I wanted to build something which is cheaper and informative at the same time.
Okay. Your objective is to develop the low-cost IoT-based monitoring system, right?
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on the estimated deployment cost for livestock farm and how scalable the system is for large-scale commercial farms?
Oh, okay. So, ma'am, if I talk about the cost part, for the cost part, I'll have to research more about. I think I'm lacking on that part. But if we talk about the commercial part, then I think that there are many systems already working on it, but as I mentioned earlier, they are very like high cost, and only farms which are large scale or working at a very high level, which are producing very high levels of like production and all, only they can afford them. So my system and my research is mainly focused on a low cost platform, and its one objective is also to figure out the seasonal patterns.
Okay, and coming to the biogas potential estimation, you mentioned you are using the gas emissions as indicators for biogas generation potential.
Hmm.
Could you elaborate on the model used to estimate biogas potential? Means like how accurate are these predictions when compared with actual biogas production?
Ma'am, I didn't get your question. I think your voice was lagging for me. Can you please repeat it?
You are mentioning there is a gas emissions as
Hmm.
indicators for biogas generation potential, right?
Yeah.
Uh, can you elaborate on the model which you are using to estimate biogas potential? Means like how accuracy means what is the accuracy in predictions when compared with actual biogas production?
Okay. So, ma'am, my model, which I generated, like the whole prototype, it was showing at an average in 85 to 90% accuracy compared to the biogas potentials, like from past research papers and the general research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can sign off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that insightful presentation. Now, I'd like to move forward and invite Pallavi to present her paper on clustering and sentiment analysis of depression related conversations on Twitter using sentence BERT. You may start with your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Give me a second, I'll be sharing my screen.
Sure.
So, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So, good morning, everyone. Myself, K. Pallavi, and my research paper titled Clustering and Sentiment Analysis of Depression Related Conversations on Twitter using the sentence BERT, whereas we are identifying the key themes and community concerns also. So, the main background was that depression affects the 200 plus million people globally. And people sharing their thoughts mainly on the social media platforms like Twitter daily. And the conventional tools like NLP fail to analyze this data because there are meaningful text behind, and due to the short text length they tend to forget the length, the sarcasm. The objective was we will develop a semantic clustering and sentiment analysis pipeline for depression related tweets, like using the sentence bed, so that we are able to uncover the latent themes and community concerns without requiring any labeling data. So the outcome we interpreted was that we have an end-to-end interactive dashboard that delivers an actionable insights that will help the mental health professionals or policymakers and the platform design. The overall project overview. So vast mental health data is available in social media, which cannot be analyzed by the traditional methods or the keyword-based methods. Like keyword-based methods misfire on context that they don't identify, not able to understand the sarcasm behind the words that are mentioned on the Twitter, or the informal language is completely misinterpreted. And also the data has mostly short, noisy data. So the problem statement was the standard that text mining techniques failed to analyze the meaningful things from that. So the problem was first the sparsity. That if you look at the TF-IDF, it produces a large sparse matrix because Twitter shares very little vocabulary. So in order to produce a sparse matrix, it will not have. And then the semantic blindness, that if you look at bag of words, these models are not able to distinguish between the words like the fighting depression versus the fighting cold. And basically, the sarcasm metaphors are completely missed. Then third one was a binary reduction. So existing approaches classify these states as depressed or non-depressed. Whereas we wanted a what is the exact why we are having that issue. So the objective was to apply the sentence word for the semantic clustering and sentiment analysis. The specific objectives was first to apply a semantic embedding that transforms the raw, noisy data, Twitter data, into a dimensional vector where we are able to capture this contextual meaning. Then the theme discovery, that applying different types of clustering like k-means and agglomerative clustering to identify what are the key recurring discussion topics. Then third was the sentiment analysis. Then after we that identify the cluster, we can assess that whether that cluster is belonging to the positive, negative, or neutral sections and map the emotional tone to that specific themes. Then the third was the community dynamics, that identifying what are the coping mechanisms or support systems we can provide and helping behaviors. The actionable insights that deliver, we are able to deliver the data-driven visualizations and findings to assess the professionals. So after identifying and going through the literature review, we identify certain gaps. The gap one was that the platform limitation mode research was conducted on Reddit, which contains the long text data, and whereas Twitter, which has the short data. Also, the data imbalancing that data sets are skewed due to unequal class distribution. So if you're working both on Reddit and Twitter data, there will be unequal class distribution. Then binary simplification, as mentioned earlier, they are mainly for labeling the data whether depressed or undepressed, and keyword biases were also there because they failed to capture the context behind them. So existing system had certain limitations, that TF-IDF treats each text as a bag of words. Like LDA, it assumes documents are a mixture of topics and breaks down on text. Sparse tweets are there. If vanilla bird and mean pulling is used, it produces a contextual embeddings, but these sentence embeddings are actually weaker for similar tasks sometimes. And multi-platform models, it limited to platform biases and Reddit. So the proposed system, so our overall system combines a pipeline which involves expert semantic embeddings with unsupervised clustering and transfer-based sentiment analysis in order to uncover the nuanced themes in depression-related tweets. So the key innovations were first we use the expert that will the L6 mini version, which goes far beyond the keyword matching and converts the each tweet into a dense vectors which captures the semantic meaning. Then performing the dwell cluster, that is k-means, in order to have a clear scalable partition, and the agglomerative clustering for have a hierarchical subtopic discovery. Then UMAP for the visualization in order to get a meaningful cluster visualization. Then cluster-wise sentiment mapping is also there in order to identify the emotional tone correlated to that each theme, and unsupervised approach that we are not using any label data. So it eliminates the limitation which was earlier identified, the keyword bias and the force binary. So the overall system architecture goes through a 7-stage. The first one was the data collection. The pipeline begins with the Twitter. We collected the Twitter data via Tweety. So we query the Twitter data using the depression-related hashtags. So the hashtags which were used were depression, mental health, anxiety, such like English language only. So the and retweets were excluded to prioritize the original content. And the stage 2 was in order, as we collected the raw data, we need to process these raw data because it contains URLs, mentions, and their mentions, emojis, and all which we don't need. Then the third step was the expert embedding. So after the clean text, it is then passed on to this sentence word modeler. Here we are using the all mini LM L6 version to model. So this model uses a SIMS architecture where we have two parallel BERT networks that share the same weights. Then the token embeddings from these final BERT layer are being meaningful to produce a single fixed 384 dimension vector for each tweet. So that this vector is a semantic fingerprint of each tweet capturing its full meaning in the form that can be mathematically compared with the other. The step 4 was the clustering method, where we applied the k-means clustering and the agglomerative clustering in order to identify what are the clusters that are there. And after that, the sentiment analysis, within each identified cluster, a board-based sentiment classifier assigns a label, whether it's a positive cluster, negative, or neutral to each tweet. So these labels are then aggregated at the cluster level to produce a sentiment profile for each theme. For example, the help-seeking cluster is entirely positive, while the general expression cluster carries the most negative sentiments like that. Then the stage 6 was the thematic cluster. The output of the clustering and the sentiment stages gives us a thematic cluster. So it covers the semantic symptoms, emotional despair, community support, and everyday steps. So these themes directly reflect what people are discussing online about the depression. And the stage 7 was the results and interpretation, the final stage where the results were interpreted using the UMAP scatter plots, pie charts, and trend graphs in order to visualize. So this is where the raw data becomes into actionable insights for the mental health professionals. So the data set description. that we collected this data and performed some data preparation steps to have a clean data. So our model is also deployed. So I'll show you the demo later. So these were the experimental results that we have these cluster visualizations, the sentimental tone for each clusters and the trend analysis. So the performance matrices which we use for clustering, that is the elbow method for in order to determine what is the key value which we should take, and the Shillard score method, key what is the separation between those clusters. And for the sentiment classification matrices, we use precision, recall, and F1 score. The result discussion. So we found out the 5 cluster, that is first one was from the general daily emotional expression, because mostly on Twitter people express the general daily day emotional. The Twitter actually serves as a general emotional outlet, so personal. Then the second cluster was a positive effect and the social warmth. So community support and affectionate language are overwhelming positive. That was insight which was generated. The third one was the mental health disclosure. The public health disclosure is actually factual information, not emotional. So the fourth one was daily stress, mood swings, and coping theme. And the fifth theme that I identified was the help seeking and behavioral recommendations. The innovation was that from earlier papers was that S-word has been mostly used for semantic search or paraphrase detection or sentence similarity. We used its application to unsupervised thematic clustering of short form mental health social, so especially Twitter depression data with integrated cluster-wise sentiment analysis and real-time dashboard deployment. This is what makes a contribution uh, different. So we have an end-to-end pipeline deployed with the real tweets with interactive dashboards, and it shows the actionable insights for platform designers. This can be used for the NLP research benchmark for as a benchmark for the mental health analysis, extensible anxiety or anything. The clinical decision support, it helps mental health professionals to identify what are the dominant community concerns, sleep issues, isolation, medication side effects. Algorithms can prioritize support seeking content, surface mental health resources, and flag despair heavy posts. Also, the phase by trend analysis can detect certain spikes in negative sentiment clusters, enabling real-time crisis alerts. So this is where our website is deployed, and I'll show you. So this is how the front end looks for this. And after we upload a CSV file, it will take some time. So already uploaded the file, and these were the results that were shown. Overview, the sentiment distribution, and the top word cloud. What are the major topics that were there? The cluster visualization, sentiment analysis, and the trend. Thank you.
Yeah, you are handling social media challenges, right? So Twitter data or generally contains sarcasm, slang emojis, abbreviations, or multilingual content. Means how does your pre-processing pipeline handle these challenges, and what effect do they have on sentiment classification accuracy?
Ma'am, can you just repeat the question?
Uh, in the Twitter, generally we are having some of the emojis, right?
Yeah.
So how you are going to pre-process the pipeline that you are handling the challenges?
So in order to pre-process the pipeline, we first there will be so many hashtags, like a hashtag that will be there. So we remove those hashtags, and there will also people mention specific people. So in order to maintain the privacy, we remove those
How it
mentions.
affect, how it affect on the sentiment classification accuracy?
The emojis.
Yeah.
We are not looking actually into the emojis, because emojis also give a very brief information about what the actual text is, but we are mainly looking onto the actual text which is there, so we remove that.
Okay, but sometimes more than the text, emojis might speak a lot, right?
Yeah.
So if you are removing the emojis, sometimes you might miss some of the points. So what my suggestion is, next time when you are updating, you just consider even the emojis also along with the text. So that will be helpful. Means many of the people might not be confident in the language, but they are confident in showing their emotion. So that is
Right.
the reason.
Actually, I thought that in today's generation, emoji is like the laughing emoji. It can be used as for sad also if they find it for
Yeah,
funny also.
sometimes it will be
Huh.
sarcasm also. Yeah,
Yeah, actually,
that is only your challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
based on the context, you have to consider whether you have to consider the emoji or not.
right. We'll look into that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. It was such an interesting presentation. Now I'd like to move forward and call Lakshmi to present her paper on From Screens to Street: Understanding the Impact of Influencer Marketing on Business Performance and Consumer Behavior in Small Scale Eateries. You may please start with your presentation.
So hi all. Good afternoon. So I'm Lakshmi MJ, and this is my co-author Suresh Nandan, and today we will be presenting our paper. So just 1 second, we will sharing this.
Sure.
Hi, ma'am. Can you visible my PPT?
Yes, ma'am, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So. So today we will be presenting our research paper From Screen to Streets: Understanding the Impact of Influencer Marketing on Business Performance and Consumer Behavior in Small Scale Eateries.
So when I'm talking about the phenomenon in this digital disruption era, we can see that the food influencers have created an informal promotion ecosystem where content actually drives discovery. Unlike other large-scale restaurants, like these small-scale eateries don't have a marketing budget, they don't have a marketing team. So their main method would be word of mouth, and which right now you can see that the social media influences heavily on that. So, like you can see that a single viral post can increase daily revenue tenfold overnight. So, why this matters is because the existing research focuses on large brands and formal retail. So, this study will be mainly concentrated on the small scale vendors and eateries. And this study will capture both the perspectives to understand what happens when a screen meets streets. So about the research gap and objectives, when we looked into it, we saw that the influencer marketing is well documented for large brands and commerce and formal retail countries. For like the McDonald's, there are other KFC, but we don't see any food informal food economy and vendor consumer dynamics remain substantially underexplored. So this study will capture both the vendor and customer perspectives using parasocial interaction theory. Now, our research objectives are mainly three objectives. It is to examine how influencer marketing impacts business performance in small scale eateries. And secondly, to understand how consumer behavior dynamics in influencer mediated food discovery. And finally, to explore the role of parasocial relationships in converting digital content into physical visits. Now about theoretical framework, we have actually used parasocial interaction theory, then source credibility theory, and expectation confirmation theory. To make it simply, we have created a conceptual model on the right side with the diagram that you can see that it all starts with parasocial bond formation, where it is all about the one-sided intimacy stimulation relationships that audiences develop with their media figures. For example, there must be some influences that they have been watching for a long time with whom they might have created some emotional dependency. So what happens is that they will see their content and everything, and secondly, it will come to the trust in the content. So mostly, when what we understood is that when people see this content, if it is paid, they won't give much attention. They should feel like this content is organic. They will look into it and they will explore more, which will lead to a physical visit or purchase when it comes to the case of all these roadside eateries and small scale shops. Now, when they go there, now then comes this expectation confirmation theory, where when they go to these places, they will have an expectation which they created based on the content that they visited. So they will try to compare it with their expectation and the experience that they got from all these from this. And if that experience meets the expectation, they will be satisfied with whatever they had. And if it doesn't meet the expectation, there will be a trust erosion, which will lead to a huge negative impact for the store and their future businesses. Now, talking about the research methodology, we use qualitative and interpretivist design, because we were not looking for data. Well, by data, we mean we were mainly exploring the experiences of people. And the design is actually exploratory, which is directive to inductive. And talking about the participants, we actually interviewed 39 people, which each of them lasted for 25 to 55 minutes, which was in English and Malayalam, which was carefully transcribed for the study, which was mainly for 21 vendors and 18 customers combined. About the sampling, we took purposive sampling, and from that, we did the snowball referrals. The location was Kerala, and for the analysis with all this data, we used Brown and Clark six-step thematic analysis. So the basic idea was to capture a dual perspective design, but that is capturing both vendor and customer experiences simultaneously, enabling identification of expectation asymmetries invisible from either perspective alone.
So, to talking about the thematic analysis, we actually got 6 themes from the whole process. The first step was to familiarize with the data, the transcript that we got from the customers. We went through all the transcripts, and we got 99 open codes, which is the more repetitive phrases or words that we discovered from the transcripts. And from that, we identified the patterns across all these codes. And from these 99 codes, we got around 14 categories. And from these 14 categories, we shortlisted 6 consolidated themes. And finally, it was a whole analysis. Yeah. Just to talk about the participants, from we interviewed around 39 participants, in which there were 21 vendors and 18 consumers, and it was a semi-structured interview. We directly went to the shops and we talked to them, and it was kind of like getting more of their experience. So it yeah. And to talk about the vendor types, we there are roadside stalls, local cafes, home style restaurants, and informal dining outlets. To talk about the 6 themes, the initially it was more like word of mouth. People come to know about from other person's opinion. But now it's like digital platforms are booming around the society. Now people comes to know about restaurants and shop through social media, especially from food bloggers. Then to talk about the conditional trust, like most of the people they earn trust through authenticity. They don't unconditionally believe all the influences. Then to talk about the content engagement, like if the content is or if the video is visually appear and good or appealing, people attract the content, then they visit the shop, and after that they build a trust. Then to talk about the business growth, some of the shop they achieve a large growth through this influencer marketing, but at the same time they might also face some operational challenges due to the huge inflow of customers. Then to talk about the triadic dynamic, in it's talk about the relationship between three relationship between influencer, customer, and vendor. Like when influencer put the video, the customer are seeing it, and then they are going to the shop, and there will be creating a vendor customer relationship. Then to talk about the trust erosion, like when the content, when the influencers exaggerate the content, it there might be trust erosion. Like people sometimes their trust will break due to the over exaggerations. Yeah. So as well as to talk about the limitations for our study, our findings are context specific. So it was particularly focusing on Kerala, and we were focusing on the current data. And it was a self-reported data. We directly went to shops and we collected the data. And the context may not transfer to other cultural setting. It may not fit to other culture. To conclude, to conclude, influencer marketing, it was effective for uh, the low cost, the small eateries, because it was difficult for them to pay for a huge marketing campaign and all. So it might also cause some operational like defi- uh, disturbances. Yeah. Then also the organic and barter collaborations also work there, because mainly organic collaborations. To talk about the paid promotions, it might cause less trustworthiness towards customers.
Sorry to interrupt you, Lakshmi. Can you please switch on your camera?
Yeah. Oh,
Was it off?
camera. Camera.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get.
Now, is our PPTs visible?
Yes, yes.
Just 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. So to talk about the parasocial bond, like my co-author mentioned, when an influencer put a video, like it, the inflow of customers are increasing towards small eateries, and then it will create a rapid viral growth, and it would be a commercial beneficial for small eateries. Yeah.
So overall, our study demonstrates that the influencer marketing can be a powerful tool for small scale eateries, but however, its long term success depends on authenticity. Because when influencer content accurately reflects reality, it builds trust and drives sustainable business. But when expectations are not met, the trust is lost, and both the influencer and the business are affected. So that's it. That is the end of our presentation, ma'am. Thank you.
So may I know what are the challenges you have faced while the study is going on? Means the challenges which cannot be give solution right now might work in future.
The one challenge we found out is that quite often what happens is that these influencers, like if they are in their initial stage, they will go to all these small scale eateries and they will take all the videos and everything. But what they do is to get more reach for their video, they will exaggerate the content. So when they do that, and people find the video appealing, if they trust the video and they'll go to these eateries, and if that food doesn't match the expectation, now because of the way they influence the food, this will actually affect the small scale eatery vendors business, because their expectation was something else and the reality is different, so that trust is broken. For the influencer it is not a loss, but for the business it can be a huge loss when you look into the future.
Can you please summarize the objectives of your study?
Yeah, so to talk about the objective, our main objective was to understand the two aspect, like the aspect from customer side and vendor side. Like what like how they are getting the impact of this influencer marketing. Is it positive or negative from both side? That was our main objective. And yeah, so
Making it short, the primary objective is to study was to understand how the influencer marketing impacts the business performance of small scale eateries, and also the influencers consumer behavior. Specifically, the study aimed to examine how the influencer recommendations affect customers decision making, and explore the role of parasocial interaction theory in converting online engagement into physical visit. So yeah, those are some of the objectives.
So may I know what is the reason of selecting only Kerala?
Uh, it was mainly like geographical constraints are there, and the thing is, when you look into Kerala, uh, it is we are actually, Kerala is actually known for the small scale literature, like it is everywhere in Kochi. We specifically choose Kochi because this is the area where most of the small scale literacy businesses boom, and so that is one reason that we took Kerala.
So, is there any thought to expand to other states or only reserved to the Kerala? Means, do you have any further future scope?
Currently, we are focusing on Kerala's different parts. So now
Okay.
we are focusing on the central part of Kerala. We covered almost, like Suraj mentioned, we covered Kochi and it's like a little part of Thrissur. And also we
Okay.
wanted to explore the north part and south part. So that's our plan
Okay.
as of now.
Ma'am, if you look into Kochi, the thing is that after like we took some samples of 39 people, we stopped at 39. One reason is that after a certain point, because of qualitative, the answers we got became saturated. We understood that most of them, the common variable is trust, like what they see online and what they see in real life. So that is one reason we stopped in 39, and so I think
Okay.
that
What
would be.
motivates you to work on this?
Yeah, actually, we both love food, and we we in
Okay.
this generation we all are in Insta, and we scroll in like food reels. So that
Okay.
makes me okay. That strikes us, and we just took
This
this like
idea popped up like
yeah.
that.
That's good to hear, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks a little bit different from others, so I just got that out. What motivates you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the motivation is in you, I think.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, then. Good. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Can we
Thank-
leave?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for your creative presentation.
Thank you, Pranjal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure. Now we'll be moving ahead, and I would like to call upon Satyam Prakash Srivastav to present his paper on machine learning in analyzing stock market predictions and investors' behavior. You may start with your presentation.
Very good evening, ma'am. Very good evening to all the panel members and research fellows. Let me share my screen first of all.
Can you please switch on your camera?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure. Just a second. Yeah. All right. My screen is legible, ma'am.
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
All right. So let me start my presentation. My topic is machine learning in analyzing the stock market predictions and investors' behavior. So we'll go. The contents of the coverage will be in this form. We'll go by introductory literature. So there are certain gaps which have been identified, certain objectives after it, the methodology that has been adopted, followed by the hypothesis that has been framed, the model that has been used. Oh, just a second. There's some. Yeah. Followed by the test that has been applied, and it will end up with some findings, limitations, and conclusion. To talk about the introductory, we know that this is a time when we are living into global era, and there are lot many challenges which investors has to face when it comes to talk about the securities market investment in today's date. Why? Because it is something which is very unpredictable, and we have been observing these in the recent past few many months, or we can say more than a year. This kind of volatility that market carrying is somewhat dependent upon the global clues, right? Well, in these kind of uncertainties and the risk capacities, the risky conditions, it has become very difficult and very challenging for the individual investors to make a wise decisions for the investment. Well, in recent past, um, recent past days, or you can say the recent past many months, there have been lot many mobile applications which have started to offer the platform through which the investors as such need not to much engage their time in taking the precise decision, or rather we can say they don't need to bother much about taking a precision. So the role of the machine learning is all about making a precise or taking a precision about the stock market investment decision, wherein investors should be having that leverage. So it's all about it's the global development of the economy is all dependent upon the securities market, engaging capital investments and its distribution to multiple sectors. Forecasting the volatility of the stock prices has been the major issues for existing as well as the potential. Though we do have certain conventional methods of forecasting in, or you can say the predictions, but actually they don't cover the non-linear relationship in the data. There have been certain new market investments opportunities which are being offered through machine learning and AI platforms, and we can say they have become the smart options of the financial investment avenues in today's day. Apart from fundamental analysis, again I must say the investor psychology is the most important factor that decides the entire market sentiments. And since market is based upon the sentiments of the investors, so accordingly the decision has to be taken care of. The techniques of this machine learning is to decide the pattern of those market changes, what kind of trading trends that is happening, and accordingly how the sentiments is going to be influenced. If you talk about the applications, these are few many applications which I came across through the study. Like we have trading view, we have trend spiders, then trickeron, then we have stockage, trail line, upstocks, and in fact of course the grow, which is most popular among many users, because in today's day they providing lot many investment advisors through these kind of machine learning platforms. If you talk about what kind of features that are being leveraged through these apps, so obviously there are price predictions, there are certain recommendations given to the users, given to the investors for buying and selling. There are pattern recognition, it helps to decide the heads and the shoulders, the ups and the downs. Again, the sentiment analysis, the optimization, and more importantly, if you talk about the risk assessment, because at the end of the day risk appetite has to be risk is one thing that varies from one appetite to the other appetite. Some could be in more risk taking capacity, other might not be. So again it's a big decision, and obviously when we talk about stock investments, share investments, share market investments, the risk is one thing that has to be mitigated or managed. Obviously these machine learnings, they are also providing the personalized alerts, when to take entry and when to take exit from the market. Apart from it, there are yet number of technical indicators like RSI, MACD, Bollinger Bands. Out of the literature review, there are certain studies which have been found predicting the stock is actually dependent upon the past record. True, the historical prices, the historical movements, the trends that and the pattern that have formed, that decides the future, that on which the investor is supposed to take the decision. We There are certain conventional methods. We talk about the efficient market hypothesis, wherein the availability of the information in someone's pocket is again a matter of concern, though the decision is somewhat based upon the piece of the information itself and its cruciality. There are certain models like Garch model and linear regression model. They have been the conventional models through which the decisions were taken, but yet they have not been too much successful enough to capture any relationship in the financial data. Again, if you talk about the methods, it enables the machine learning methods enables the researcher to analyze the large sets of data Sentiment analysis in the market involves the techniques of machine learning to fetch data, view them, create sentiments, accordingly deciding the sentiments, content, and financial updates on the social media. They, through machine learning, there are certain algorithms which are being running in the background, and they can filter out the sentiments, accordingly the impacts on the stock market that could be happening. The new highs and lows are decided. Obviously, there are certain gaps through the literature. There have been limited integration of these machine learning models with behavioral finance theories, insufficient analysis of the investor's behavior pattern using advanced data analytics, lack of comprehensive framework that combine the prediction with behavioral insights. So the objectives of the research have been to examine the applications of these machine learning techniques in stock market prediction, to analyze their role in understanding the behavior of the investors, to identify the key biases, behavior biases affecting their investment decision, and to evaluate these models in financial forecasting. The methodology that has been adopted to conduct this study has been done taking into consideration the primary data collection, wherein the data have been collected from the investors who prefer to invest into securities market, and they have some they are more inclined in staying motivated towards stock market investments, which are driven by mobile applications that are keeping the blend of machine learning applications. The responses have been collected from 265 respondents through the structured questionnaire. The variables onto which the study have been conducted, the independent ones are machine learning analytics, market information, investor sentiments. Then again, the mediating factor, which was the part of the study, was stock prediction accuracy. The dependent variable was investor investment behavior, and obviously the risk tolerance acting as a moderator. Accordingly, the hypotheses have been framed onto which the study has been decided. These are the models, measurement models that have been, kind of tested, and we can see that yes, the values of the Cronbach alpha, they seems to be giving the reliable results. Certain on these constructs, for further the factor loading test has been conducted, and yes, it seems to be quite the results seems to be quite reliable. Further, Fortnite and Larkin discriminant test has been conducted just to know does that each construct measuring something unique, or does it overlapping too much with other constructs. So we can see that yes, that overlapping doesn't seems to be happening when the data, all that which is into diagonal conditions, they are um, they are not overlapping with any other constructs. Further, HT-MT ratio test has been conducted to exactly concluding that whether there is any high correlation or there is any effectiveness in terms of measuring the same thing. So the results have been displayed over here. The model is this is all that conceptual model. On the left hand side, there are independent variables, machine learning analytics, market information availability, investor sentiments. The mediator variable is a stock market prediction. We can see that how it is influencing the investors behavior, investor investment behavior, and obviously the risk tolerance acting as a moderator. These are the findings of my study. The findings of the study contribute to the growing literature on integration of AI in behavioral finances. The machine learning furnishes precision in stock market forecasting. We can conclude that yes, through machine learning, the precision, the accuracy, the precision is more on obvious. It's more on towards accuracy as compared to the conventional models. Information that are market driven playing vital role in deciding the future projections. The relevance of the investor sentiments and its impact on the financial market. The investor try to believe on tools only when they are able to perceive the future conditions. The impact of the risk exposure do not cover the aspects of the decision making. Investor is dependent upon how much an individual investor is ready to accept the risk. As already discussed, this fact that yes, it is all a matter of risk appetite factor, which varies from one investor with the other one. Yes, the study carrying certain limitations. There is high dependence on past data. If there would be any situations of political unrest, then obviously such kind of machine learning platforms or any AI application platforms, they are not going to lead fruitful results. There can be a misleading predictions. Obviously, the qualitative aspects of the data can't be measured, like emotions aspect, the psychology, the investor's behavior. It can be varying from one with the other. Then there can be conditions of generalization. Conditions of one market can be different, can may differ significantly from the foreign market, as we have been observing in past many days. Then lastly, the sentiments, social networks and channels, they usually float the information that obviously they're sometimes not that much reliable. I would like to now conclude. It is concluded that machine learning algorithms, the market piece of information, sentiments of the individual investor, significantly impact the stock market precision. If the precision is accurate, investors will definitely going to showcase their capacity to take the risk. When they decide to take the risk, obviously the reward is being, the reward is gained through huge amount of windfall gains. A risk playing the moderating role in deciding the investor's behavior. Even in this technological era, we can't avoid it. This is all my study, and the references have been used. Thank you.
So, according to you, how you can handle the predictions, means as you said, that misleading predictions. So, is
Yeah,
there is
ma'am.
any possibility of handling the misleading predictions up to some extent?
Ma'am, we can only be somewhat relying upon the precisions or lenders through the support of the machine learning platforms. As such, in case if there would be any, uneven changes that is happening into market, obviously those things are uncontrollable. They are beyond the controls of someone's, right? Maybe it can be political unrest, maybe it can be a war crisis condition, as we have been observing. So it's all about these precisions can only be, fruitful when the market would have some positivity, would have some stability in it. Maybe that stability could be little, maybe for little longer time. But then when we have lot of uncertainties in the background, obviously we can't be that much relying again upon the technological perspective.
Is your work is qualitative data on qualitative data or on quantitative data?
Ma'am, this is a study that is a blend of quantitative as well as qualitative, because here we're talking about the investors' sentiments. Here we are talking about the psychological factors and all. So we can see that yes, uh, it's a blend of both quantitative as well as qualitative, because when we talk about the stock market ups and downs, it is a quantitative perspective that is happening due to any changes into background, maybe due to any, governance changes in the governance system, or maybe due to any foreign exchange policy, as we have been observing that is happening between US and Iran in the recent past many days, right? So it is a blend of both these sets of data.
So, as you are telling that high dependence upon the past data, is it in a positive way or in a negative way?
High dependence can be a matter of concern for a certain duration of time. We can't be like always, we shouldn't be always relying upon the, the past data, because past can only be giving us some forms of trend for, for a short while, maybe for couple many months to come, or for forthcoming months, maybe for a forthcoming 6 months. But it can't be, good enough to take an accurate precise decision for a longer time. So in order to take a precise decision for a longer time, the market needs to be staying stable. Until unless it is stable,
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
you can sign off. All
All
the
right.
best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Shall I stop
Thank you.
it?
Yes,
Stop
sir.
sharing? Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I'd like to move forward and call Sai Ram, the co-author with Dimple Dalwani, to present their paper on Media Mind, a unified multimodal AI framework for automated video repurposing and generative short-form content creation. You may start with your presentation.
Just okay. Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sairam Konar. I'm one of the co-authors of the project Media Mind. Is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So yeah, again, good afternoon, everybody. So I'll be presenting Media Mind, a unified multimodal AI framework for automated video repurposing and generative short-form content creation. Our major motivation was that in many cases we have situations wherein the content takes time to get made or to get uploaded, and in many systems we have situations wherein they handle only certain aspect of video generation. Also, with the growth of short form content, it becomes difficult for some creators to upload to stay up with the current trends. So now moving on to the introduction, as we know, across the all the social media platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, we have various podcasts, webinars uploaded daily. To work on this, editors have to spend multiple hours. As we know, podcasts or webinars can be of long durations. So to extract the key features from these videos, editors will have to spend a large amount of time identifying the important moments, trimming the clips, adding subtitles, and preparing the content and posting it on multiple platforms. Uh, when we did our research, the solutions which were existing focused on one task, let it be transcription or editing or captioning. This forced creators to switch between multiple tools. Through this, we discovered that there is a need of a unified AI system that will understand the video content and automatically create the shots or the highlight clips required for the creator. Moving forward, post our research, as discussed before, we found four gaps. First is the visual. First, it is that the major gap is that the systems are existing perform fragmented tasks. So, for example, we have visual only analysis, wherein the system will detect major scenes or faces, but it would skip the existing speech and context of the video. Second, speech analysis, wherein the transcription will be taken, but it cannot interpret the visual contents. Due to this, we have multiple separate tools following fragmented overflows, and AI has not yet been implemented into a deep level for editing. So existing solutions automate the individual tasks, but currently they are failing to provide a unified multi-model platform that will understand both the semantics and the complete content creation workflow. For this, now I would like to present the MediaMind framework. What a MediaMind framework does, is it integrates multimodal AI into automate the video repurposing. So what is video repurposing means? We have the long form content, and we'll create short form contents or shorts to upload onto the social media platforms and generate engaging short form content. So this is the second pipeline, wherein as there's a growth in the short form shorts field, be it Instagram Reels, be it YouTube Shorts, it becomes essential for creators to focus on that perspective as well, and focus on the views that they are generating. So the key features over here are multimodal AI processing, semantic video understanding. So while generating the highlights, we will be extract up after the long form videos uploaded, the speech and the visuals of the videos will be extracted. We will be conducting will There will be a semantic highlight detection, and finally the clips will be generated along with semantic based titles, automated video highlight generation, and finally AI part short form creation, wherein based on a text prompt, the LLM will generate a script. The user, if needed, can make changes to the script, and it will add the own voice, and with the use of stock images, it will generate the short form videos. So now going on to the system architecture, the user will interact with the front end layer, which is developed on Next.js interface. In the backend, we have used fast API server to fetch the requests, and using Redis, we'll be maintaining a job queue. This job queue works asynchronously, and it will split the task into two layers. One is your AI processing layer, and the second one is your video processing layer. In the AI processing layer, we are taking into account features such as text to speech. We will have LLM processing and Whisper ASR. What Whisper ASR does is it extracts all the contents from the videos that is being spoken and creates a transcript of it. In the video processing layer, we will be doing object detection, as in many videos, depending on the particular scene, maybe there are many groups, or there is just one person speaking, or maybe there is a crash. So such detection needs to be done. Scene detection and FFmpeg engine. What this achieves is, after all these scenes are extracted, it will combine the video and process the video at the end. As a part of external services, we are using Media Assets API. This helps us to fetch the stock images required for the short form generation. So going forward, we have the first pipeline, that is going to be the highlight generation. What happens in this pipeline is, after the input video is put, we have the semantic extraction. So here the audio is extracted, transcription takes place, and we identify the different hooks. Once the hooks are identified, the best clips are selected based on a hybrid clip scoring. So this is the formula which we have currently used as a dummy formula, and we have given preference to hook strength, as this is the major factor that depends on whether the user stays on the video or not. After this, we have the visual reframing engine, wherein from each clip the scenes are detected, and for each scene the frame we have extracted set of frames, and these frames will have person detection or face detection, and based on whether there are no people present, whether there are people present, uh, different types of cropping may take place. Once this cropping takes place, all the frames are rendered together. The audio which has been extracted will be merged, and finally the output highlight will be generated. The key capabilities here are, the pipeline is able to have a transcript based analysis, wherein whatever is being spoken, that is also taken into account. Based on this, we have the semantic hook detection, where the LLM is able to understand which parts of the podcast or the video should be extracted. Once that is done, the based on all the factors such as sentiment, emotion, pacing, completeness, length, and hook strength, the clips are ranked, and finally the highlights are generated. Moving forward, this is the second pipeline, which is the AI Shorts generation. As we know, as I mentioned before, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels are currently booming, and in these the major part is that there are many videos wherein, for example, if we take the game GTA 5, so in those cases the video just has the background of GTA 5, of someone driving a car in GTA 5, and there is some content which is taking place due to but due to this background, we have observed that people are staying on the shot, rather than
So
having.
sorry to interrupt, Sairam, but
Yes,
I'd
ma'am.
request you to. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I'd request you to conclude your presentation now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So as we can see, we used multiple models for face detection, and we had selected YOLO V8 because it was providing a common performance. And here, as the results can be seen, once we had uploaded a podcast in this situation wherein 5 clips were generated, and each clip was given a score based on the scoring formula, and we had titles also generated. To conclude, we have the key contributions wherein a unified media automation system was developed. We had an AI framework which combined all speech, visual, and language understanding. We had a hybrid highlight scoring which did not just take any one factor into consideration, it took all factors up to a certain extent. The shots generation feature was automatically able to generate the shots. As these are independent AI services, they can be scaled independently as well, and we were able to integrate it completely. And as a future scope, we are looking into cloud deployment, as this system does consume a high amount of GPU. So if we are so cloud deployment is one of the parts. Then real time personalization, wherein if there are any issues, the user can reiterate with the AI to make sure that the changes can be made. And finally we would like to improve the system. And these are the few paper references that we had taken, and the entire list is mentioned in the research paper as well.
Okay, Sairam, you can wind up.
Okay. So yeah, that is the end of the presentation.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now we'll be moving forward, and I'd like to call Rupa to give her presentation on novel algorithms for AI-based security operations and automation, a comprehensive review. You may start with your presentation. Ms. Rupa, if you're saying something, I'd like to remind you that you are muted. Ms. Rupa?
Seems that there is a problem.
Yes, I think she has some technical issues.
Yeah, can you please move to next?
Yes,
We
we'll
can
be
keep
taking
at
a
the end.
presentation in the end if we have time.
Yes.
Then we'd like to move forward and call upon Vidushi Negi to present her paper on representation of female Dalit characters in the entertainment industry, special reference to web series and web movies in OTT platforms using machine learning. You may start with your presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all. Uh, okay. All right. Good evening, one and all. I'll share my screen. Please let me know. Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. Good evening, one and all. My paper ID is 586, and my topic is the representation of female direct characters in entertainment industries with special reference to web series and web movies in OTT platform using machine learning. So, before starting with my presentation, I would like to brief about what it all about. We have been seeing that the females have been used as a material in series and in web movies just to gain the popularity. So the Indian cinema industry is one of the premier film industries in across the world. Has created boom during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, where people were forced to sit inside, and they were asked to watch the movies and the repetition of the movies. So it is immensely contributed to shaping the national symbols and value system in a society. Not only platforms but also these social media are trying change the perception of people towards Dalit characters by raising their issues and concerns through web series and web movies on OTT platforms. And we have plenty number of movies which now producers, story writers are making to create a create a positive impact on netizens, especially for the female Dalit characters. Now, today, the representation of Dalit characters in modern cinema is undergoing a huge transformation. I would like to elaborate this point. The reason is that when we go to the ancient back time period where people used to say that these people belong from a Dalit society, they are not supposed to enter the houses. So, in that case, that impact is now carried forward from generation to generation. And now these OTTs, especially the web series and web movies, are changing the perception of people. So nowadays, filmmakers today perceive that the right platform to change the perception of netizens towards these sensitive issues which is arising in society is specifically the OTT platforms. And the reason is there's no censorship, and the reason is there is no the portrayal of the sensitive topic is very vibrant. There is no censorship. That is why the people are able to communicate the exact perspective what they are actually trying to say. And the harsh reality of present scenario is the way female characters are portrayed in the media shows, specifically the OTTs in the same. Now, famous feminist thinkers like Ritu Menon, Kiran Prasad, and Kamala Basin raised their voices against the unfair depiction of women in print and visual media. So now OTT has introduced generally a new era where the platform is reciting a story about women with utmost honesty and loyalty. And with the help of internet, the viewership and consumption of this the streaming platform is possible because now people are able to watch, understand, and consume the content depending on their time and preference and their leisure time and preference, and their and maybe while traveling also they can consume these platforms. And that is one of the reason, because people are from mindset they're completely free. That is why they're consuming the content just the way the story writer producer are trying to. So in India, the web series culture is depicting the realities of women with a new angle. And the major credit goes to this OTT platforms, which specifically includes Z5, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hotstar. Yes, ma'am?
Can you please go to the results directly? Why? Because we are having very short time.
All right. A survey has been conducted for collecting the data. The research part was done by my co-author, Dr. Vivek. So I will just specifically tell you what is it all about. So machine learning has been put for the result analysis, and it has been done in the different phases. Phase 1 was the data collection, then data processing, exploratory data analysis, model training, output, association, status, and sentiment scoring, and visual output. Moving to the portrayal perception by gender. In this figure, the researcher asked the respondents that how female characters are portrayed in entertainment industries, specifically to web series and web movies. So as per the responses received from the respondent, the figure 1 shows the victims of the oppression dominate female Dalit portrays across both gender, with no female respondents selecting multidimensional characters. As per the respondents, female Dalita characters are majorly represented as victim. So moving to the next figure, improvement perception across age group. In figure, the researcher asked that, in your opinion, how authentic is portrayal of Dalit characters in OTT and cinema? And in the continuation of the same, the researcher asked, do you find the representation has improved? As per the responses, figure 2 reveals that 31 to 40 age group is most optimistic about improvement, while 21 to 30 group shows polarized views. So respondents have neutral view about authentic portrayal of Dalit experience in OTT and cinema. Then variable correlation heat map in figure. In this figure, a correlation analysis of important variables quantity reveals that most feature operates autonomously with general weak relationship across the board. Then another figure, it displays the elbow curve where the bend of K3 variables, 3 distinct respondent clusters.
Yeah, Vidushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understood your work. May I know what do you think means like key reasons for neutral perception of authentic Dalit representation in OTT and cinema?
Um,
Means main reasons for this neutral perception.
reasons. All right. As per is the portrayal the movies and web series web movies OTT platforms. This is what I think that this is the major reason people are perceiving the content just the way the storyteller and producers are like to portray them. So people are accepting the fact that the representation of Dalit characters in OTT is a neutral perspective. They may not use as a portrayal of something which is the viewership for the art. So
So how did you ensure that your survey sample was representative of different age groups?
uh, while uh, uh, distributing the Google Forms, in that case, the different age segments were represented, and the research methodology showcased that 31 to 40 age group are the people who are accepting the fact that representation of female are so,
Yeah, okay. Okay, Vidushi, you can wind up. Thanks for your presentation.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Vidushi.
Ma'am, this is Rupa. Shall I present now, ma'am? Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, ma'am, you can present now.
Yes, am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My research review paper, I'm presenting my research review paper on novel algorithm for AI-based security operations and automations. It is a comprehensive review. I have reviewed 20 papers in the duration of 2020 and 2026.
Just gotta stand there and watch
The
me.
presentation overview includes the overview methodology and AI algorithm for IDS. IDS is the intrusion detection system, and SIEM SOAR frameworks, that is security information and event management. SOAR is the security orchestration and automation responses, and explainable AI, federated learning, and comparative analysis, research gaps, and future directions.
Rupa, can you please go to the results directly?
Yes, ma'am. The required paradigm shifts, that is I have studied that it is from benchmark to optimized to observability, observational hardened, and from point of solutions to the integrated
Rupa,
platform,
your
I
voice
have
is not audible.
and centralized to the policy preserving, and the static development to the constability. As I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Am I
your
audible
voice
now?
now it is okay, but in previous it is like lagging.
So I'm concluding this presentation by I have gone through the 20 survey papers. That review found that systematic survey of 22 papers from 2020 to 26 12 works in comparative analysis. The impressive benchmark accuracy is it is greater than 95%. but critical gaps in adversarial evaluation and real deployment. Okay. Performance paradox is high accuracy where I'm focusing on improving the ideas through several emerging technologies like hybrid models, ML, machine learning, and deep learning with AI. So high accuracy on a static data set does not equal to production of readiness. The accountability gap is as AI systems assumes autonomy is security operations. The stakes of failure escalate correspondingly. The research community bears a responsibility to ensure the sound foundations and honest limitations, rigorous empirical evidence, not benchmark optimization. The challenge ahead is to bridge the
Can you please
benchmark
show your
matrix.
results, Rupa?
So, ma'am, this is my conclusion because I'm just reviewing the papers, 20 papers. I'm focusing on to improve.
Is this your survey paper?
Yes, ma'am, this is my survey paper. I'm just
So for
focusing
the
on
survey,
all the methods, hybrid methods by
so
to
when you are
emerge
doing
the
your survey,
new
it's
technology.
better. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
if you're doing survey, you have to take more papers rather than 20.
Okay, ma'am.
Why? Because as these are the Springer conference, one of
Yes,
the
ma'am.
reputed conference, so you have to take more papers rather than 20.
Yes, ma'am. I have surveyed more than 20 papers, ma'am. But I still mentioned the number. That's it. Yes, ma'am. I will include.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you,
you can
ma'am.
note of Rupa.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Rupa. We'll be moving forward. I'd like to call upon Vivek Panchal to present his paper on smart traffic violation detection system using deep learning and computer vision. You may start with your presentation.
Okay. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I extend my warm welcome to everyone present over here. So I am
You
Vivek
can
Pan.
go to the results directly.
Okay. So basically, what a system does is it captures a video, and if any traffic violation is occurred for two-wheelers, it detects that, and based on it, it um, generates the number plate, and also it sends a e-challan to the registered email ID. And in output, we can see here I have sent my video where I was not wearing a helmet. So our system detected that, and it also gave the output. And the OCR engine has read the number plate, and I have also got an email regarding the challan, and this was my number plate and also the proof that I was not wearing a helmet. So this is how a system works basically.
Vivek, may I know, already this is existing. What is the difference from existing to the proposed?
Okay, so the existing systems does not capture more than one traffic violation. They are only focused on whether the rider has worn a helmet. They have not covered all the traffic violations. We are covering all the traffic violations, and the USP of our project is it is fully automated. You don't have to manually input anything rather than the first step, that is video inputting. Other than that, everything till the sending of challan, everything is automated in a project.
So imagine if you are not wearing helmet and along with that you are talking on phone. So
Yeah.
can it be able to capture both the cases
Yeah. It
at
can
the same
capture.
time?
Yeah, it can capture both the violations
So
and
is it going to give the fine for both the
yeah.
violations or only one?
No, so here we can see. So we can this is the admin dashboard where there is helmet detection, triple sit, and the phone usage. If we are committing both the violations, then this both will be true, and the amount would be 10,000 1,000 rupees, like that. So it will detect multiple violations, and that the existing systems cannot
So
do.
how many algorithms you have used in this?
So basically, for object detections, we are using YOLO V8, and for the optical character recognitions, we are using Easy OCR and Tesseract OCR.
So what is the size of your data set?
So for dataset, we have used for of the dataset of Kaggle. So basically, it was something around 5 MB. Like it was more than 20,000 images for no helmet.
So how many features you are having in your data set?
So basically, the features we were having, that it was of triple seat and the helmet, the motorcycle, and the rider on it. So 4 features were on it. And
Okay.
in the advancement, we were thinking of implementing AI that can detect the other violations too.
So what is the accuracy of your work?
So so about the helmet detection and the triple set violations, the accuracy was about 70 to 80%. And for the phone violation, because if the video is not clear, the user is just touching his ears or something. So that was something that we need to work further on.
Okay, Vivek, you can
Yeah.
sign off.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Nice work. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vivek, for your presentation. Now we'll be moving on to our last presentation. That is, I'd like to invite Pandalakshmi Prasanna to present her paper on Speak to R, a multimodal AI-based voice interview system for automated HR candidate screening. You may start with your presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Ma'am, if you don't mind, I have a net issue here. Can I continue with my camera off?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give me a minute. I'll share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lakshmi Prasanna from Geetam University, Hyderabad. Today I'm presenting a research titled Speak to HR, a multimodal AI-based voice interview system for automated HR candidate screening. The objective of this work is to automate the initial stages of recruitment by combining multiple AI technologies to provide an intelligent and objective for the scalable candidate assessment. So these are the contents of the PPT. Recruitment is crucial process in every organization. However, the traditional recruitment involves in manual resume screening and multiple interview rounds, making it time consuming and resource intensive. Existing automated systems mainly focus on keyword matching or chatbot interactions, which often fail to access.
Is your work having only one objective, Lakshmi?
No, ma'am. It actually has many, like the existing systems only see the keyword matching and chatbot interactions, but my work will contribute with 4 features: systematic analysis, behavior analysis, communication analysis, and automated assessment module.
Okay. Can you please go to the results directly?
Yes, ma'am. So the experimental results indicate that Speak to HR consistently generates stable and interpretable candidate assessments. The semantic scoring module accurately evaluates responses relevance with respect to job description. Behavior analysis provides additional insights into candidate engagement and communication. The structured PDF report summarizes candidate strength, weakness, role alignment, and hiring recommendations, enabling HR teams to make faster and more consistent decision makings. These are the results we got. The second figure shows the multimodal performance comparison of candidates in semantic reasoning.
Multi-modal means what are the models you have considered here?
Here we considered 5 models, ma'am.
What are those?
Like the modules for, we have input module, AI processing module, analysis, decision making, and output modules, ma'am.
Okay. So how this correlation matrix has been drawn, can you please explain?
Yes, ma'am. Based on the candidates' voice and their emotional and verbal communication basis, we generated the graph, ma'am. Like the score represents their. Sorry, ma'am. I'll give me a minute. Their emotional stability is represented, and their communicational score is represented, ma'am. Like depending on their emotion, communication, and uh, grammatical words, it is their performance is calculated, evaluated, ma'am.
So what are the algorithms that you have used here?
We used
Means here you have taken emotion stability. Means how you calculated the emotion over there?
using deep face, we analyzed the emotions, ma'am. We used algorithms like speech processing, semantic analysis.
So speech processing you can use, you can calculate even for the communication score also. But coming to the emotion stability, means what else you can use for that? For communication
We
score also you can use the same thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what algorithm you are using for the emotion stability? Means how you are calculating this emotion stability? Means by looking at the face or the body language or what else?
Yes, ma'am. Here we used a deep face, which depicts facial emotions such as happy, sad, angry, neutral, or etc. So, depending on their facial expressions, we are evaluating their emotional analysis, ma'am.
So basing on the facial expressions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. May I know what's your future scope?
Yes,
Conclusion and future scope.
I would like to conclude the. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
Speak to HR demonstrates that multimodal AI can effectively automate the initial stages of recruitment by integrating semantic reasoning, speech analysis, face emotion recognition, and contextual understanding. The processed system provides intelligent, scalable, and objective candidate evaluation. Although the current implementation is limited to English language, we would like to in future we would like to include a sentence bird, voice emotion recognition, multilingual support, and adaptive questioning. And we would also like to add stronger privacy and AI governance mechanisms.
Okay. Yeah, good work. You can wind up.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Lakshmi.
Thank you so much.
Now, heading towards the end of this session, I would sincerely like to thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough, and on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this 11th version and all the 10 previous versions of this conference. We'll be happy to have you in the 12th version in 2027. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. The publication will be live in 7 to 8 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ICT4SD 2026. Now, I would also like to thank our session chair as a token of appreciation from our side, the team of ICT4SD 2026 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. I would now like to invite her to give a few closing remarks.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the nice session. As a session chair, I sincerely thank all the others for their outstanding presentations and the audience for their active participation on thoughtful discussion. The session has been highly informative, showcasing information, research, and valuable insights. Even the organizing is also very well mannered. Everything has started on time, and many more people's hand might be there for this work. I extend my appreciation to all the organizing committee members, reviewers, volunteers for their efforts in making this session a success. Thank you for your time and the participation for the authors and the nice work they has done, and even the innovation and the problem statements they has picked is very different instead of routine research works. So I wish you a productive and enjoyable experience in the remaining sessions also. Thanks to the organizing team, and thanks for giving me this opportunity for as a session chair for today's conference. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I extend my sincere gratitude to you for chairing this session with such a great energy and for your guidance throughout. I would also like to thank everyone for your valuable presence. Now, I'd request you all to please switch on your cameras so I can take a quick snapshot of the virtual conference. I request everyone to please turn on their cameras. Okay. Smile, please. Thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for attending the session.
Thank you, Pranjal. Have a great day.